We are in the 20th chapter of Balakanda. Vashishta hosts the king. Once, the king had gone to the forest with a large army. He was visiting several places. He visited cities which were ruled by him, and in the course of his journey, he saw many beautiful rivers, hills, and ashramas nestling at their sides. One such ashrama was that of Vashishta, the son of Brahma. From a distance, Kaushika could see the flowering trees and shrubs, and he could see the orchards, and there was a small stream flowing slowly past the ashrama. Several deer and other tame animals could be seen, and he was very surprised to see the Siddhas and Charanas as well as the Gandharvas and Kinnaras. The place was resounding with the music made by the birds which had nests on the trees, and there was peace reigning in the ashrama and in the forest which surrounded the ashrama. On going nearer, the king saw several rishis performing tapas, and there were many who were bent on meditation and who seemed to be lost to the world. It seemed to him that Brahmaloka, of which he had heard, was not in the heavens, but here on the earth where Vashishta was. It is a rule among the Kshatriyas that they should not pass the ashrama of a rishi without paying respect to him, and in return the rishi has to welcome him and honor him, since a king is said to be Narayana himself. Kaushika entered the ashrama of Vashishta and prostrated before the great man. The rishi was very pleased with him and welcomed him with great excitement. He sent for a seat noble enough to befit a king, and he made the king sit on it. He offered fruits and water. Kaushika received all these with a humility becoming a great king, and they spoke to each other about general things. Vashishta asked the conventional questions which should be asked. He said, "I hope your subjects are very happy under your rule, which is sure to be righteous. I hope your servants are well behaved and obedient. All your enemies are subdued. Is your army large and powerful? Is your treasury full? Are your children well and happy and obedient?" Kaushika answered them all in the affirmative. Each had great respect for the other, and they spent a long time talking about many things. After a long time had passed, Vashishta said, "I want you to accept my hospitality. It is a rare and great honor that you have visited our ashrama with your army. I want to entertain you. You are a righteous king and a good man. I am pleased with you. You are to be honored and give me the pleasure of doing so." Kaushika was touched by the words of the rishi and spoke very humbly and said, "Your words, full of affection, have done more than a feast can do. You have already given us fruits and milk. The sight of you has made us pure for birth after birth. What need is there for a feast? You are the person who should be honored as a god, and it is not right that you should say, 'I deserve to be honored.' I will soon be taking leave of you to continue my journey." Kaushika felt that it would only embarrass the rishi to feed so many of them, and to save him this, he rose up very tactfully as if to go. Vashishta would have none of it. Again and again, he insisted that the king with his retinue should stay and accept his hospitality. Finally, Kaushika had to accede to his request and said, "So be it, my lord. You are so eager to play host to us, and I have not a chance to escape from your goodness." Laughing together, they walked out of the ashrama. Vashishta called out, "Surabhi, child, Shabala, come here." Kaushika was wondering whom he was calling, and even as he was thinking about it, a beautiful cow came and stood before Vashishta and said, "You call me father?" Kaushika saw that the cow was unbelievably beautiful. She was of a lovely shape, and her hide was mottled black and white. Her eyes were soft and gentle, and Vashishta said, "Shabale, this is the king of the country, and his name is Kaushika. He has come with his army, and I wish to entertain him and his retinue. Prepare for them a feast with all the things necessary. Let there be nothing wanting, and I want them all to go back satisfied. Hurry and create everything." Shabala was Kamadhenu, the divine cow which rose out of the milk ocean when the Devas and Asuras churned it for Amrita. She had been given to Vashishta. She created a feast for the royal guest and his attendants. There were all kinds of foods and drinks of every type imaginable. The food was such that it suited every palate. There were heaps and heaps of all the edibles they could think of, and the guests were served with affection and care so that everyone had his fill of food and was satisfied. Kaushika was extremely happy, and he saluted the rishi and his men. He then said, "My lord, never in my life have I been so entertained, and never have I tasted food like what I ate today. I want to ask a favor of you. I was greatly impressed by the power of Shabala, your cow. A cow such as she should be in the possession of the king of the country. Bounty like hers should benefit everyone. Please give her to me, and in return I will give you 100,000 cows. This cow is a jewel, and any precious jewel rightfully belongs to the king. Please give her to me." Vashishta was taken aback at the words of Kaushika, but he composed himself and softly said, "I hate to refuse anything to anyone, but Shabala is someone different. Not even in exchange for 100,000 cows will I give my Surabhi. You may say that you will give me heaps and heaps of silver and gold, but it will be of no use. I will not part with Shabala, and that is certain." Kaushika stood as though stunned. Vashishta's eyes were now wet, and he said, "O king, Shabala is part of me, and I cannot be separated from her. It is like taking to part the fame from a man who is famous. All my religious rites are performed because of the gifts of Shabala. I cannot give her to you." Kaushika would not give up. He said, "I will give you 1,000 elephants fully caparisoned in gold and silks. I will give you 800 horses and chariots. I will give you more if you so desire. I will give you 1,000,000 of Kapila cows. Please give this one cow Shabala to me. If you are so desirous, I will give you gold and precious stones without number." Vashishta shook his head sadly but firmly and said, No, she is my jewel and she is my wealth. She is my everything and she is my very life. My tapas is all comprised in her. What is the use of dilating on the subject? I will never part with her, and it is futile on your part to offer me wealth. I have no use for any of the things you mention. I have Shabala, and she will be with me forever.